tarpon everywhere. And this is what's happening. Standing there watching. You'll see your mullet just swimming around. You'll see your crab floating off. This is tarpon fishing. For all of you that never caught one, you'll stand there and and you wait. You've got to wait. You've got to put the time in. Putting that time in is what gives you the success in catching these fish. There's days I've been out there, and just as fast as I can put a bait in the water, I catch fish. They're chewing the whole time. There's days I get out there and I spend the entire day, or the half a day trip, depending on what tide I'm on. I can sit there for that 4 hours and might get a hookup. Not even a catch, just a hookup. Takes off the bait, spits it, and done. It happens. So, having the patience is going to be your biggest success in this. It is a very frustrating sport. I have watched mullet get slapped 6-8 feet in the air by tarpon and they'll never eat it. And I've said bad words. We all probably understand where that comes from. So, we want to catch fish. The biggest key to fishing these bridges, because that's where you're going to be fishing them on the migration this time of year, is setting your boat up, which is probably the most uncomfortable thing for a lot of people to do. Because you're wanting to set your boat up on anchor, on these bridges, to fish this structure that these fish are going to be on migrating through. And we all know what happens on these bridges. There's current. Who in here is comfortable setting an anchor on the bridge in between the pylons? Show of hands. What's in between? Oh yeah. Back up right in the stall, turn around, set that anchor, off you go. You know, that's how I do it myself. Just to give you an example, when I say a stall, because I will use that terminology tonight, imagine this banner here. You can see through, and we all know what the bridge looks like. You've got a pylon here, an open area, and you've got a pylon here. This is your stall. So you've got an open spot that you want to fish. Now, where you set your boat up really depends on that. So you want to fish this stall. Most people will fish outside of the stall. They'll sit out here, fish their bait back to the stall and through the other side of the bridge. The goal is to be as close to this as possible. If your tide is going this way and you're fishing this stall and that fish hits, now guess what you've got to do? You've got to go through this stall to go chase this fish. If you're already sitting in the stall, as soon as you drop the anchor, you're already out of the stall. You're not giving yourself that risk factor of hitting that bridge, which nobody in this room wants to do. Unless I'm missing someone that does. You don't want to hit the bridge. Everybody with me so far? All right. So that being said, you're going to want to set up a release anchor of some kind. There's all kinds of techniques. I've sat and watched the YouTube videos that people put up. I've seen diagrams that have been over Google. Everybody's got a different way to set up a release anchor. Does anyone not understand what I'm talking about a release anchor? If you don't, please tell me now. I want to make sure that okay. I got at least one, that's all that counts. Now I got two. You're not by yourself no more. We can make this happen. A release anchor is going to be just like what it sounds like. You're dropping it. You're leaving it in the water to go chase your fish. Make sense? That's the objective in all this. So the question is, what technique do you want to do? I have fished, I want to say 6 or 7 different style release anchors in my time here. And the one that I'm going to show you I have found works best for me in my boat. You can do it as simple as just hooking it on the front of your boat, and when it's time to go, bump it forward and drop it. Just that easy. Sounds like it. But when you've got 2 knots of current locking your boat down and you got to move that boat forward and you've got a 100-pound tarpon running off the back of your boat, it ain't that easy. The quicker you can drop that anchor and let it go, the faster it is and easier to angle the fish. Cullen, please step up front, please. This is Cullen Sayer. Cullen is like my 2nd or 3rd son, I don't know, 4th, 5th. Trey's back there too. He's like another one. Yeah, but Harris is, yeah, whatever. But anyways, we're going to start with Cullen tonight. Cullen's going to give us a demonstration. I want you to hold this basket, and I want you to hold this basket right about there, just like that. But I want you to face everybody so they can see you smile. So make sure you smile, everybody. Then we're going to reach in here. We're going to grab the rabbit, and then okay, gotcha. The blue rope you see here, this rope I tied to the bow of my boat. We're going to pretend that our hot dogs tonight is going to be the bow of our boat. So we're tied to the bow of the boat. And I take this and I drew down the side of my boat to my cleat, which is right about here. Pull it sucker tight. It's going to sit just about like so. Everybody with me so far? So we're tied it from the bow back to my cleat. Now my cleat on my boat literally sits right here at my helm. It is right beside me so I can drive and do everything I need to do all in one. My anchor, where's the anchor supposed to be at? Up on the front of the boat. I don't have a lot of space in here, so it's hard to show everything. So far, can everybody see the anchor in the floor on the other side? Yeah. Good. We're just going to pretend that's in front of the boat. But what I do, I take a stainless steel ring, I lock it in right there on my cleat, and as soon as my boat starts backing up, this sucker runs all the way up to the very front of the boat, just like so. Everybody with me? So now I've got all the rope, the chain, and the anchor in the water. Questions? Okay. Everybody's with me. So now that we, come on, get it tight. Get it on me. Now that I've got the anchor set, I've got this tied to my bow, how do I let go of this anchor? No? Hang on. What? Right here, just pop it off the cleat, and I'll let it go. The boat does everything for you. That runs right off. The blue line stays tied to the boat. You want to make sure that the rope is not longer than your boat so it doesn't suck up into your props. But I will drag this blue rope around all over the ocean on the front of my boat until I catch fish. And to this day, it never intervenes in anything. It runs right up into my boat and it's out of the way. Everybody catch that. I want to show that again. So here's my cleat. Double your loop, just like so. Everybody catch that? So all you have to do is when I see the fish on, I'm firing my motors and dropping my anchor. The current's taking me. I'm already working with the current. I usually don't have both my motors fired up. I'm already drifting off before I'm fired because I want to make sure I can start trying to gain on that fish as quick as possible. Questions? I know there's got to be some. Come on now.
What's the blue line tied to on the other side? So that
it is tied to my bow cleat on the boat. Yes. You tie it to, that's going to be our bow of the boat up here. And I just draped it down the side of my boat. This, believe it or not, exactly how I got it is the length from the tip of my boat down the side of my boat to my handle. My boat's 32 foot and about 6 inches. And that right there gives me everything I need to my cleat exactly where it sits on the boat. And you just hook it, drape it right down the side of the boat. It doesn't have to be tight. It can be loose. It can drape just as long as it's tied. And when you tie it, like I said, when you tie it, you just want to tie it where it's snug enough. I can do it now. Just like that. It doesn't, because it'll tighten up that way. Because you just want to grab this tag as soon as you can pop it. Make sense? But don't. Well, this is huge. This is what I want everybody in the room to understand and learn how to do. This is where it takes practice. Yes, sir.
Will the buoy stop at the front, please? How does the buoy help pull the anchor?
On the rope. How I have this end set up is I've got the D-ring and the buoy is no interference at all. So when it slides off, this falls right into the water and the buoy just marks where my anchor is sitting at. And as soon as I pull right back up to where my buoy is, I pull right back up to it, snag the hook, hook it back on, let the boat drift right back to where my set was, and I'm in the same spot every single time. Now I will say this, and I've been there and done it, it might take once or twice to get that anchor set just right, but it is worth taking the time to set your anchor right the first time instead of fighting it the entire trip you're out. Everybody got that? Any questions on this?
How long of an anchor line do you like?
Typically between 50 to 75 feet. Everybody does it a little different. So, hello? Somebody need to answer the phone? Feel free. You can drop back for a minute. Sit the basket down. You can take a break. Thank you for your assistance. Oh, yeah.